Hi, I'm back talking about parallel lines cut by a transversal. So we talked already about lots of different pairs of congruent angles that can be found in a set of parallel lines cut by a transversal. So problems that you will see of this vein will ask you, as this one does at the bottom of the page here, to find the measure of all of the labeled angles. So just pointing out here that we have two parallel lines in this drawing. And we also have two transversals. We've got this guy here and this lovely person here. All right, so let's start by looking at this. I'm going to highlight it so we can all see it. The line, the transversal that I have highlighted in yellow. And we'll take a look at all of the angles represented based on that transversal, and then we'll look at the other one. So nicely here in the problem, we have one of the angle measures. So based on that angle measure, we should be able to find all of the other angle measures. So let's start off with the vertical angle across from A, which is C. So that should be congruent. A and C should be congruent based on the fact that they are vertical angles. Let's see if we can figure out something about B and D. Well, one way to look at it is that A and B lie on the same line, along the same line here. So there's this line and this angle here. So they make what we called before a linear pair. So their measures will add up to 180 degrees. So the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B should equal 180. Great. So we can take 180 and subtract 34 for the measure of angle A, and we can get the measure of angle B. So if I do a little magic here, math magic, I end up with 146 for the measure of angle B. And knowing that B and D, hello, are vertical angles, we should also see 146 for the measure of angle D. Now we have to do some things so that we can take a look at some corresponding angles. Whoops, why did that not erase? I don't know. There we go. Some corresponding angles on that same transversal. So again, here is our transversal that we're looking at. So our corresponding angles would be this IJLK group over here. So again, we have some interior angles. We have some exterior angles. Let me change color. And we could also look at our corresponding angles. So, we can say A and I are on the same kind of, if we look at the face of a clock kind of thing, they're both at like 11 o'clock. in terms of those intersections. So A and I should be congruent. So A is 34, I is going to be 34. B and J should be congruent, so that makes J 146. D and L should be congruent, so that makes that 146. And C and K should be congruent, so that makes K 34. So that takes care of one set of corresponding angles. We can also check it by looking at alternate interior angles should be congruent. So B and I should be congruent. B and L, can't see that letter. B and L should be congruent, and we see that they're both 146. C and I should be congruent, and we see that they're both 34. We can check the alternate exterior angles as well if we want to. There's lots of ways we can find all of these measures. So what I want you to do now is see if you can find the pairs of congruent angles represented by this transversal. So we're going to be looking at angles E, F, G, and H and comparing them to M, N, O, and P.